Hey everyone, welcome to this week's show. With me this week, I have GM of RoboWolf, Corey.
Long time no see.
It's been a while.
Nice
It's
to be
been
back.
a 3 week hiatus, pretty much.
It's life's getting busy, so nice that we have some other people filling in and you can kind of rotate, so not dependent on the one person.
I wish we had more people that wanted
I could, I agree.
to show
That would
up.
be nice. Yeah,
Get more opinions than the same ones every week.
yeah,
But then they bitch about, oh, it's always the same shit. Well, come on and give us a different
yeah.
point of view.
And show your face. Don't be
Yeah,
a bitch.
don't hide your face and be a
Don't
little
be a
bit.
bitch and show your face.
Although, to be fair, Mark is a pretty big bitch.
I, that's what I was saying. No,
Um, I am your host, your commissioner and champion, the Ramrod Empire. We're gonna get into it because we like to get this over with and do it all in one part if possible. Last
there's no
for
trades.
trades, barely any for trade deadline. It was a week trade deadline. But last week itself there was a flurry of them, so everyone got their business done early, for the most part. Uh, Last week results. Team Ramrod, 11, 6, and 2 in third place after losing to Forgot About Dre. 11, 7, and 1 in fourth. Corey, what happened here?
It was a lot closer going into Sunday than the score ended up. Nice to see you lose to create a little gap there. But anyways, solid week for both of you. Your goalie had some killer stats. Just unfortunately, his goalie did too. Just a little bit better. And that really was the difference. Like you guys both had killer special points, like game-winning goals. He won with four. You lost with three. Uh, yeah, it was a solid week from both of you. Tied in hits, 113. Holy shit, he had 159 hits. So like, it was a playoff preview here, right? So it was nice to see just a battle, a good battle.
He
But
benched his
nice on Nick.
goalies. He benched his goalies after Thursday night. For
After Thursday,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
and yeah, that's a lot of four wins after Thursday.
yeah,
So
including a shutout, and then Bob's
yeah,
came back, got me a shutout. My goalie stats were so good; they would beat anyone else in the league last week. Just happens that Knicks played better. Um, yeah, okay, I took the loss, but really, my guys played well enough to beat almost everyone in the league last week. So my guys are ready for playoffs. What really sucks too is I tied in wins. It wouldn't have made a difference in the end because he took blocks on the last day, but Gibson
mm.
got pulled in a game as precaution that Anaheim ended up winning. That they were in the lead when he got pulled. Uh,
Oh
that he didn't play
geez,
the rest of the week,
yeah,
and then started yesterday and got pulled for injury concern because someone crashed the crease and he suffered a lower body injury
oh yeah, yeah, I saw that too.
after making like some amazing saves and someone crashes the crease. Fucking dirty Canucks. But anyway, it was a good week. I'll take the loss. Go on. Look, I'm looking towards the playoffs. Doesn't fucking matter. I'm in the playoffs.
It's
Some people
true.
out there think it's that I'm gonna drop down to eighth. You guys go fuck yourselves. You guys don't know the power of Team Ramar. You underestimate me. Every year around this time, you underestimate me. And what happens?
Well, the one year you won, you went on like a three-game skid going into the playoffs, and maybe it was four actually. I think it was four, to be honest.
And what happened?
Yeah,
What happened,
well, I
boys?
obviously said the year you won. So,
I know. I want
yeah,
them to know.
yeah, he diddled himself with his rings. That's what he did.
I need them to know, like, that you can have all your doubt all you want, but to count Team Ramrod out,
No,
going
they
to the
weren't counting
playoff,
you out. Just saying the possibility that it was kind of funny that Yahoo didn't clinch you because there's no way you don't make it,
there's
like
no way I don't make it.
actually,
Yeah,
because of the matchups. So it's kind of surprising Yahoo can't predict that, but I mean, who cares? It's a little asterisk. We
technology,
know the truth.
technology
Yeah,
these days. But I look forward to the playoffs. This might be a first round matchup, me and Nick. So very
could
possible.
be 4-5, 3-6.
If things shake down and I drop a little lower, I don't plan on it, but anything's
Never know.
possible.
It's tight too.
Yeah. Hero, for some reason, he's a hero when he's not even in a playoff spot. Hasn't done anything relevant in like 3 years, but he's a hero now. When just a few months ago he was a dumpster fire. 6, 8, and 5 in 12th place, taking down Neil. Pretty much ended Neil's playoff hopes, although they were very slim before that. 7, 11, and 1 in 13th place. What happened here?
Yeah, uh, fairly decent week from their players. Both mediocre goalie stats, a lot of games out of mark. Um, but just yeah, his players actually didn't do too bad at all. Uh, and that's really what the difference was here. So really solidifying that he doesn't want to be in participation for the Golden Cock, and he can win more than he can tie. So it's nice to see.
I feel if Mark would have made some moves earlier on, like some good moves, like he could have been contending in the playoffs. But
Yeah,
he's
the
just
only
like,
activity was him running his mouth in the chat.
that's it, and didn't do anything to change his team, improve where he needed to
Well, he
improve.
did get Jari. He did trade
That's his
for
Penguins
Yari.
glasses, though. Like
Hey, shh,
we've been telling for years that Yari's not good. In
don't tell
fact, they put him on
him. And
waivers, I believe,
yeah,
last
no,
week.
yeah, oh yeah, he got dropped. He did drop him after.
Like,
But but so he did try to improve his team.
did he though? Is that
Just
trying to improve your team?
yeah, just he's just not a good negotiator. Let's
He's
just say
not.
that. Yeah,
Mark, you need to take some fucking fantasy hockey courses in the
yeah.
summer and maybe come back. Maybe get a GM buddy like
Uh,
Braden.
like his buy value and his sell value are different. Like he'll never pay what he wants you to pay.
He has like a different expectation on values than everyone else. That's fair.
Yeah,
But big win for him. Sucks for Neil. Neil's having a rough year. Looks like you and Kyle will be correct that he will not make the playoffs.
I know. I was thinking that.
I'm
Who
surprised because I thought Neil's team, even at the start of the year, was good. Good on paper.
he's just been on a bad streak because he was actually in a good spot.
Yep.
Yeah, and his team looked like it was going to compete. I really don't know what the stats are and what fell apart for him. I'm sure he can chime in. You know what? Actually, his injuries have been high all year, and he just never really moved on from the players, and just took the L
I
right
hear
on the chin. I'd say that right the D is nuts, right on the chin.
you. Don't try the beef. 11, 7, and 1 in fifth place after losing to Svechmi a drink. 10, 7, and 2 in sixth place. What happened here?
This was a battle. This was a close one and a huge one for playoff implications, especially for Dan. Adultery a little bit more comfortable at the top. Dan's team just came out to play, had a good week except for his goalies. Adultery took five goalie categories, and just only two players, and one was plus minus, and then game winning goals. So his team didn't really show up where it needed to. Kind of got a little bit lucky there to get the other two categories. And Dan's players kept him strong along the way, enough to squeeze out a win and stay in a playoff. Better playoff position than others.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, when I did my prediction at the start of the year that Dan would make the playoffs out of all the playoff teams, I didn't really look at the schedule because we didn't really know who would be weak, right? But he has a benefit right now where he has a lot of the weak teams. I'm not saying Daltry's weak, but beside Daltry, a lot of the weak teams for a second time. That's a huge benefit for him. It might inflate his numbers a bit, but his players are playing right now, and that's what matters. He's going to the playoffs. His players are playing. Hopefully they play better than they did in the finals for him because his team was shit last year. But yeah,
Well, to comment on that, he didn't do well against the lower seeded teams the first round. He actually beat you and Nick in the middle of his calendar here. He's on quite the stretch playing against good teams too, top playoff teams. So yeah, that's promising for him as he's squeezing in, right? That he has recently beat these teams. So
yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm
yep.
excited for the playoffs. I
Oh
know a
yeah.
lot of you aren't because you guys have nothing
No,
to do during those weeks. But
70 aren't right now.
yeah, yeah, with one other to join within the next
Yeah.
couple weeks.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Raymond. 8, 9, and 2 in 10th. Losing to Patches. Oh, hooligan. 9, 8, and 2. Climbing back into the playoffs. What happened here?
Well, this is the two two teams with similar positions, both sliding down the standings recently. So both an opportunity to really turn it around, and Nick just making him pay. His goalies not great goals against and save percentage, but 6 wins, 234 saves. He was able to take all five goalie categories. Uh, the only thing that Derek was able to take was blocks. So I mean, take your blocks if you're giving up everything else, right? Big win for Nick here to keep the playoff hopes alive as an early seller, still sitting in a spot. So
So what happens though when you sell all your team in the last 2 weeks? Derek selling his whole team to Nick, merging into one. Uh,
there's
big
under money table or under table money there.
big win for Patches though, climbing to playoff spot. I don't know how much damage he can do in the playoffs, but making it,
That's all you need
anything
to
can
do.
happen. We see Mark win a championship, so anything can happen.
That's gonna be the bar commented on every year.
Yeah, if Mark can make
Deservingly
the
so.
playoffs and win,
Deservingly so. I don't know why I'm hating on Mark today. Love you, buddy.
he doesn't.
Some days.
Mentally Bernarded, 14 and 1 and 15th. Losing to the Braden bye week. Who 14, 3 and 2 in first place. What happened here?
Brady did not have a solid week. Um, he's lucky he got the new Braden bye week of the season. Kyle really falling apart here. Braden's just getting an easy win to stay in a comfortable first position. I think 4 points out with 2 weeks left, so it was pretty much clinched first, uh, barring an upset. So we'll see. But yeah, easy win for him. But 17 goals, 157 shots, I'd say was the only impressive thing that came from Braden's team there.
I think a lot of people are saying this, and I think they're correct, is that Braden's team is not as good as his standings and point show. Um, you
You can
know,
check the strength of the schedule. I'm kind of curious now.
yeah, I'm curious myself.
I'll
Uh,
look it up while we're talking here.
Yeah, but I think I just don't think his team is as good as his standings show. But good on him. It doesn't matter what I think. His team's performing. They're in first. Um, hopefully he doesn't run into a hot hand, or hopefully he does run into a hot hand in the
Yeah,
first round and gets a dose of reality. You never want to play those guys who are fighting for that playoff spot because they're the hungriest. The other guys are complacent at the top. Stuck in their ways. You get
it's
those
true.
bottom guys who had to fight to get in. Those are the guys who are gonna put up a fight. Utah Wasatch 9, 8 and 2 and ninth. After defeating Team Rocket 8, 10 and 1 in 11th place. This was a huge one. I will say, Kyle went 7 for 8 in predictions last week. This is the one he got wrong was himself. Um, so what happened here?
Yeah, Kyle's team scored a lot of shots. He squeezed out save percentage by 0.001, and that was his three. Uh, Casey kind of had his way with him everywhere else. 41 assists, by far the highest I've seen. Goal, not amazing stats, but besides that, but yeah, good week for Casey. Really keep him in the playoff picture. Really solidifies Kyle's potential run in, right?
Yeah,
So big win here.
I
The
heard.
team you need to beat. Team you need to beat.
Yeah, Kyle's pretty much done now. I don't think he makes it, but
Yeah,
Casey's in trouble with Hughes being out for season now. That's gonna hurt his team. Even if he does limp into the playoffs, like that should be an easy first round knockout under those
we'll see.
circumstances.
But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, so he has to make it in first, though.
Yeah, and his team has changed recently, so it'll be interesting to see how he performs down the stretch here. Right, it's not the team as he started or he's had for 3 quarters of the season, so
Yeah.
he has made some big
I
changes.
like the
So
changes he's made, though.
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I think he should have done some of those changes earlier.
yeah,
To be
he's
honest,
learning from his mistakes. Right,
you know what? He'd be in a whole different situation if at the draft he didn't pick Askarov with the third pick. If he would have picked
yeah,
Gustafson, who would
Yep.
have fixed his issue immediately. Um,
Wolf.
yeah, well, like,
Yep.
okay,
But not even like that's not even a risk, Gustafson, right? In comparison.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like at the time, like you're in the first round, you have the third overall pick, and you pick a
Yeah,
guy
I agree.
who
I
you might
agree. I
have to
was
wait
joking.
for. Like, no, like you should have went for Gustafson. He would have immediately fixed your issue.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. But he was trying to look out in it. He's being impatient, and he's making the moves that make him more competitive now, and I like it.
I like the pick of
Yeah.
Askarov, to be honest,
Yeah.
but not if you're trying to compete this year.
Yeah.
If you're a team who's like, I know I'm not going anywhere. I'm not drafting to do that. Someone like Travis probably should could have got away with drafting Askarov. Um, but yeah, in hindsight, it's easy to say
Yeah.
that. But I did like
Yeah.
the Askarov because I am a big fan of Askarov as a future goalie.
Yeah. He got a good return for him at least.
He did.
Yep. He got more.
Uh,
He got more than enough, I'd say, for where he drafted him. Just earlier in the year would have been better.
yeah, he would have been
Yeah.
in a lot better spot. He probably would be in a playoff spot right now.
He wouldn't be worried about it.
And
Yeah.
Daltrey probably wouldn't be in one without Gustafson. Um, so,
Yeah.
it could have been a two-team swap there. RoboWolf, 13-6-0 in second after taking down the Charlie Browns, keeping them down in the bottom of the league here at 4-14-1. What happened here?
Which one is this? Sorry. Oh, this is me.
That's you.
Oh yeah.
This is what
This
you
was a
should know
cruise.
about.
This was a cruise and win. My goalies came out to play, taking all five categories. Um,
Does Sean even
yeah,
have
I
one?
wasn't. I wasn't even too worried. Yeah, he had 103 saves, so he had some starts, but he had four game-winning goals, and so I couldn't touch that. 19 goals for him. His team didn't do terrible, but I had a pretty solid week. So uh, nice win here. Nice not to lose to the 16th place team twice in a row, because that was definitely at stake with Travis moving up in the standings from beating me last week. So don't want to talk about that one any more than I have to. So go ahead.
I encourage you defeating Sean because I love seeing Sean at the bottom. I want to see him with that golden cock, and as long as he doesn't get another win this year, he's poised to get it. So,
Yeah,
uh,
that for anyone just joining, that would sound so wrong. I enjoy Sean on the bottom. He deserves the golden cock.
that's right.
He's poised to get it.
He's very poised to get that. Like he loves it. He's already cleared out a spot for it.
No, I believe it.
Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town. Of course, he changed his name to that because he's playing Kyle again this week. Um, 5-14-0, 14th place, losing to Domo, Captain Crunch, 9-7-3 in seventh place. Domo somehow making the playoffs. This is what he does. He sneaks into the
Yeah.
playoffs and then,
Well, he made it to the finals the one year.
yeah, I remember how that worked.
Yeah, yeah. We still
That
make
was
fun of
uh,
Sean
that
for
was this
making the
one.
finals.
That was this one,
That was
Domo.
this one. I remember.
They have years on them for the record, but
I know. I believe you.
that was you, Domo. Red for Domo.
Fuck, one of them is me. Shit.
You're the green one. Dan,
Yeah,
you're the
or
blue.
Joe. The Power
Uh,
Rangers.
so what happened this matchup?
Yeah, it was close enough. Domo taken with 99 hits. Travis was 98. A lot of close categories, to be honest with you. Travis plus 31 to Domo's -5. That's a quite the gap. Plus 31 is quite the week. Two shorthanded points for Travis, but just wasn't a pull through. Domo's goalies, I'd say, were the difference. Taking three of the five categories. Big for him in the playoff picture too, and not to let Travis's ego get a little too big.
It's a big win for Domo. It wasn't really much of a challenge. Travis just isn't a challenge this year. He knows it. He's shocked that he's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
in
yeah,
last place. He's
yeah.
shocked,
Oh yeah,
but
he yeah, he's blown away.
that's just the way it is some years. So, you're that bad and you're not the worst. So good for Domo. Now he has a chance probably at this, boys.
Ooh.
This is what everyone wants. They want that little GM sitting on the couch. That's you guys. Well, it's not you guys. You never win this,
Yeah.
but uh,
I wouldn't mind it. I
that's
never
me.
got to experience it.
Yeah, you never got to hold
I'm
it.
like, it's like winning HOH of like a double eviction.
You don't get your HOH room or anything
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
You get nothing except the name, the
exactly. Yeah,
title. Like,
yeah.
let's take a look at the standings quick before we get into the mediocre trade deadline that we had. Speaking of trade deadlines, though, tomorrow will be interesting with the NHL trade deadline. I know I'm going to be watching.
Oh,
I'm
it's always fun.
tomorrow, so I'm going to be watching all day. Uh, do some shit in the
'Well, you got to be on. You got to be available for the wire. You never know. Some player values shoots up, right? Um,
Something.
yeah.
Speaking of the wire, there's something I've held on to all season long, and I can't wait for the playoffs because that's when it's going to come in handy. Is that number one waiver wire spot on that
Oh, I
Sunday,
know.
week one,
I'm at number two.
when someone
I'm right
drops
behind
a
you.
player on week one there on Sunday night, and I'm just going to be there to scoop them up.
Yeah, you can see right there. You're
Yep,
one. I'm two.
I haven't used it all
Yeah.
year. Um,
I've been asked this year if I would get paid to use it.
yeah, me too.
Yep.
And I said it would cost you a lot because that's a weapon at my
Yeah.
disposal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a regular
I
ad drop.
convinced them that you didn't even need to use it, and I didn't, and they didn't. They cleared waivers anyway. So yeah,
It's rare
couple of bad games, couple of bad games will do that to someone's value.
unless it's something like someone huge, like it
Yeah.
won't matter.
Like the only one I felt I like that I put in for this year was the Anaheim guy that Sean got rid of.
Vetrano?
Vetrano. Yeah, he's the only one I've put in for so far. I've been patient.
Yeah, that's it. Like,
Yeah,
but a couple years ago in the playoffs, I needed a good grinding defenseman. Seth Jones was dropped. I'm like, okay, I'll pick him up.
yep,
You
yeah.
know,
Might
like,
as well.
anyway, first place, Braden Byweek, 30 points. It's looking like he's gonna stay there. I don't think it's really well. It's
Yeah,
possible for you to take over, but it's
yeah,
unlikely.
yeah.
He'd have to lose out. You'd have to win out.
It's only 2 weeks, but I'd have the win for sure with the
You'd have
wins.
the win. You'd have the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if
Because I haven't tied yet.
he loses both his weeks, then you have a chance.
Yep.
But you're in second place, 26 points. You're probably safe there. Maybe not. Like you're still
Because I
catchable.
have wins on you too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You'd have to lose out.
yeah. Probably. Yeah,
Ramrod Empire is in third with 24 points. Forgot about Dre and Dull Try the Beef, fourth and fifth with 23 points. Svechby a Drink, 22 points in sixth. Seventh place, we have Captain Crunch with 21. Patch is sitting in eighth. He's actually tied with Casey. He has a tiebreaker, though. They have the exact same record, so that'll be interesting. Both at 20 points, so eighth and ninth. And then everyone loves Raymond. Too far out now, I feel. Being 2 points out with another team in the mix with 2 weeks left, it's probably not good for you. Not
yeah,
that he expected to make it. 18
yeah,
points. Team
yeah.
Rocket, same story. Once one of them
24.
gets a win, he's done. So Team
Yeah.
Rocket, 17
And
points.
they play each other.
Yeah. So
So
one's getting, well, they might tie,
yeah,
but
they could tie, but if they don't tie, he's out for sure.
even if they tie,
Yeah.
um,
Oh, he could catch Captain Crunch.
he could. But Team Rocket at 17 points in 11th, 12th place. You have Hero in with
Mark.
17 points as well. Uh, Neil with 15 points sitting in 13th. Ash with 10 points sitting in 14th. Mentally Bedarded and Charlie Brown's tied for 15th and 16th with 9 points each. But Sean holding that tiebreaker for that Golden Cock. Good for you, Sean.
Proud of
You
you,
always
buddy.
wanted to win something this league.
Woo! You know what? He might tie. He might tie and lose it. He's losing the tiebreaker again, and he gets a trophy this time because of it.
That would be
Wow,
hilarious.
that would be hilarious.
All right, let's talk.
For the record, it's we're laughing because he tied with Nick, whatever season Nick won,
That's it.
and lost in the finals because of it.
That's it. Nick couldn't even win cleanly. He had to tie it.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
we'll chirp him. We'll chirp him as well for it.
that's it.
Ammo
Uh,
for both of them.
let's get to our week trade deadline. We got Mentally Bedarded and Captain Crunch. Domo picking up Petrangelo for a 13th and Pajot receiving a 16th as well. What do you think of this?
I think that's good value for Domo. Really good value actually. 13th. Uh, I know Petrangelo would have moved by now if people really wanted him. So I think that's all he could get by the end. So it's a good on Domo.
Also, keep in mind that people just didn't have picks to spend anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
There was a lot of
But
action throughout the year.
yeah.
Uh,
You what
Neil
did you have any
moving
words on that or no?
good. No, good move. I like Petrangelo. I had him at the start of the year. I moved
Yeah,
him for two pick upgrades, around the same value. A third, I think it was a 12 and
third.
a 14, something like that.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So it's right around that value. But he was hoping to that would help put his team on the right track. It didn't help him because
He went downhill. He went heavy on spending and just straight downhill.
unfortunately for
Kind
him,
of unfortunate. Yeah.
maybe he'll change up his tactic next year.
Well, Demko at being in and out all year doesn't help either. So
Daltrey stacking up, picking up Velarde, an 11th and a 12th for Granlund, a ninth and a 10th from Neil. What do you think of this?
uh I mean Daltrey has a lot of grind, so he really a guy like Flaherty is not gonna hurt him. I don't think the price is too high either. I will say though, I went to inquire for Granlund and offered a 1 round upgrade, knowing he's not going to be kept. But Travis confused Neil, and Neil got the trade deadline wrong and just never accepted it. So the trade just fell through the wayside because of it. So he threw away a pick upgrade there. So I would have liked Granlund to get the position flexibility, but I think it happened for a reason because Robertson now got the right wing tag as well, which is huge for me because I had three left wing only. So uh, I'm pretty happy about it. But
Sometimes
I
trade
was gonna add that in.
Sometimes trades like that happen. Zibanejad really benefited from Miller going there because all of a sudden he's no longer just center; he's center right wing. So it gives
Mhm.
me more flexibility, right? Because
Yeah,
of the
that's
trade
huge.
that happened in the NHL.
Yeah,
So it's nice to see that the flexibility or that flexibility can be added throughout the season. I don't mind Villar. I think Villardi's a good pickup for Daltrey. I don't know how much different he is than Granlund. Granlund's having a strong year. He's also playing on a
yeah.
very offensive
I know. I was kind
Dallas
of
team.
surprised to see him thrown the other way.
So to give two pick upgrades for that one guy, I hope it works out for Daltrey. Or really, I don't care if it does. But it's not a bad deal. Yeah.
Yep.
Me and Hero making a trade. Him getting a Ronick and a 12th, and I got Chikrin and a 14th. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Coronacu has been actually on a solid push in a better direction. But then when I look at Chitrin's stats, it is actually pretty good. A high amount of blocks, so I assume that's what you're going for to get out of him in comparison, because then Coronic's a little bit more well-rounded. But 2 round upgrades, nothing. So to get the player you want, that's pretty good.
I thought it was worth the mediocre pick upgrade to get an upgraded player. There was nothing wrong with
Yeah.
Ronick,
Mhm.
but I also thought this is a guy I could get cheap that no one's really offering
Yeah.
anything for. I'm like, hey, I'm bare on picks, but last minute, this is what you can get. Do you want it or not? Right? So,
Yep.
we only have less than 10 minutes left, so
I think we'll be good here.
I hope so. Cousins and a 10th going to Hero for his year and a 15th. Tell me about this one.
Yeah, another guy that I know he wasn't getting anything for. So I also don't have a whole lot of picks. So a tenth is what he had to settle with for his share. Cousins a little bit more well-rounded, having a good year too. But I had to upgrade somebody. Kind of running. I was running a little heavy to be honest in players. Uh, so not a lot to pay to get a player that's going to now see a lot of time, especially with Hughes out as the number one center. So I think this will be good for me.
My one question about that, and it's not to knock on his year at all. Is how much does his production hurt without Hughes being on that power play?
Yeah,
Uh,
that could be
you
a
know,
part. Yeah, for sure.
and
But
that's just
I
more of a
don't think they're.
concern than a
Yeah,
doubt, you know.
yeah,
But I like Hischier. He's a good player. I thought that was a good deal for you.
yeah.
You're not gonna get a player like Hischier for that cheap typically.
No.
Hayton and a ninth going to Everyone Loves Raymond for Strome and a 15th for Team Rocket. Trying to get some production going into the playoff push. What happened here? Or what do you think of this one? Sorry.
Yeah, Team Rocket unfortunately didn't pay off in the. I don't know how Strom did, um, but it didn't pay off in the sense of him making a playoff push. Unfortunate, but I thought it was pretty heavy price, a little bit more than I would have wanted to pay, um, considering he's kind of one dimensional. But yeah, it's good on Derek as a guy selling in the playoff picture
I'm gonna agree with
to a
you.
guy chasing him.
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm not sure how much value Strome adds for a ninth, but I
Yeah,
think Kyle wanted to make a push to try and improve so he can make the playoffs. It didn't pan
yeah,
out. Nyes and an eighth going to Everyone Loves Raymond in exchange for Larkin and a 13th with Dre. What do you think of this one?
yeah. I thought this was better value for as an eighth. He wasn't going to get anything else for him at this point, right? So it's another you got to sell for what you can get. So that's good on Nick for going to the playoff push. Derek selling again.
Yeah. Again,
That was fair value.
continuing their merge. Um, Nick picking up more of Derek's players. An eighth though for Larkin's good value, so I'm not going to say much about that. All right, we got 6 minutes here to get through this. Ramrod Empire versus Daltry the Beef. Who do you got?
I'll go with you.
That's all you got to say?
Yeah, I think it'll be a good matchup. Another playoff preview, right?
Yeah,
A potential
potential.
first round. So
I'm gonna
it's
keep
gonna be
it.
this is gonna be a fun matchup to watch.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because we're running low on time. But I think also Ramrod Empire is gonna take this. Daltrey today has used his final ad drop, so he's going into the weekend without any ads. Team Ramrod still has two. I already have plans for it. Very flexible this week with Kachuk being injured. So yeah, I expect Ramrod to come out on top. Hero versus Svetch. Who do you got?
Yeah, and nice for Dan here to get a favorable matchup like this going into the playoffs. Uh, as things are tight. So yeah, I think Dan should take this.
I agree. I think Dan will take this. This is an easy matchup for him. It's a lob ball down the middle. Just don't get too soft, Dan, going into the playoffs. He might end up like the finals last year. Everyone loves Raymond versus Forgot About Dre. Who do you got here?
Dre should be able to take this one. Derek's sold off, so the record's probably even inflated to what it should be at this point.
This is what I pictured as Derek hurting himself. All his team is playing against him this week. And,
Yeah,
stop hitting yourself. Dre's going to take this one. No problem. Mentally Bedarded taking on Patches O'Hooligan. Who do you got here?
Nick should have an easy win here. A nice matchup going into this week.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to solidify him a playoff spot probably, especially with the other two having a match against each other, right? So, or that's next week.
Yeah, next week. No. Nick plays Casey next week.
Oh, so that'll
Yeah,
be big going
yeah,
into next week. I think
yeah,
Patches has this one hands down. Casey's in tough this week against
yeah.
Braden. Who do you have here?
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. Uh, Casey taking Braden down earlier in the season. Already making his comment about it in the show box. Love to see it. I hope to see a win here. I want the upset. So far, I mean, I haven't looked at the stats at all, but looks like Casey is doing well. But got to give it to Braden.
You give it to Braden?
Yeah,
I want to give it to Casey, but I'm not. Without Hughes, I don't know how long he can sustain this victory. So I'm gonna go with Braden. I would have went with Braden anyway because the standing tells a story.
yep.
Robo Wolf versus Neil. Who do you got?
Should be an easy win for me here.
I'm not gonna argue that. Neil's team is going in a different direction than yours. You're priming for a playoff run, and he's crying at home in the shower. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Corey. Ash Ketchum versus Team Rocket. Who do you have here?
Team Rocket. I hope they win. Going for the villains.
I uh, I've also given it to Team Rocket because I just don't have faith in Travis's team this year. So good for you, Lyle. Uh, Domo taking on Sean. Who do you have here?
This is where I'm calling my upset. And I want to see Sean win, and I'm going to put my faith in him and the positive energy, and hopefully it pays off.
Giving it
I
thought
think
and prayers.
yep. Take down the Domo.
I think Domo is going to beat him
Yeah,
because Sean's team is just shit. It's complete ass. He deserves to be at the bottom.
yeah.
Fucking love
I,
it.
I I don't disagree. This is just my upset of the week. I'm calling. Yeah.
Oh well, there you have. We got through that pretty quick
Well,
when we don't rant about it, so that's good.
yeah.
We have 2 minutes
I,
left.
I have a quick story I'm going to say.
Okay.
Um, so I was talking with Dan on the weekend, and we got into a heated debate about his thoughts on who he should drop in between Knight and Quick. Okay, and we're kind of weighing the pros and cons, and then we end up kind of deciding that Knight has had some more starts lately, so he drops Quick. Well, even though Quick had the Sunday start, so Quick goes on to have a shutout.
Yeah.
And then Knight gets traded to Chicago. And part of the reason we kind of agreed that Quick can go is because he didn't need the tandem at that point. But now he has Mrazek as well. So now he has a tandem on Mrazek and Knight with, and then Quick gets a shutter as insult to injury. He didn't need it for the win at least, which was nice for him. But
Something
I thought
dangerous
it was
though.
pretty funny. I thought it was pretty funny.
Chicago is playing the three goalies. It's not just the tandem.
Mm.
Soderblom is
Oh,
still
I
up.
know, I know.
So
So it's interesting. He did read that they do seem interested in Knight as the long term goalie there.
as he should be, if you're gonna trade
Yeah,
for him like that, like
yeah, I agree.
any
Yeah.
closing
So
words? We have just a minute
no,
left.
no. Good luck this week, Neil. You're gonna need it.
All right. Well, as everyone knows, good luck this week. Playoffs are coming. Except you, Daltrey. Go fuck yourself.